Hey everybody, hope you guys are all faring well on this rainy day. We're going to work on the collage with GIMP. This is part 4. We're going to do the selection tools, and we're going to do each tool as a separate little video to break it up a little bit. You can go to the one you want. All right, but before we start looking at selection tools, let's get to the same page. All right, so I want you guys to go Edit, Preferences. So if you don't have GIMP open it up. And I want you to go to Icon Theme and click on Color. So all your tools over here are in color. And then I want you to go to Toolbox, and I want you to uncheck this so that all the tools show up instead of all the. Otherwise, all the tools are grouped together, so you'll see less tools, and you'll have to click on it. Anyway, click OK, and now we're going to be on the same page. All right, let's keep moving here, and we're going to look at each selection tool individually. Because you have to select pixels in order to move or change them. And each tool has important options, replace, add feather, etc. That changes how the tool works, and so we're going to be looking at those. So the first tool we're going to look at is the free select tool. Make sure you answer this question. How does the free select tool work? Well, let me show you. So let's go over here to our layers, and I have this hibiscus layer here. And so if we can find the free select tool here. Or if you go to Tools and you go to Selection Tools, they're all grouped together here. We got Free Select, and so basically you just scribble around some. This isn't a very good. It's a super easy tool to use. It's not a very good tool, but you're going to find occasion to use it. So I want to show you the easy tools, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So you click like that, and when it turns yellow, and you release, and so it's selected that. Here's a weird thing about GIMP. So let's say you wanted to move that, okay? So we're on our hibiscus layer. You made this selection, and you go to the Move tool. Well, it starts off on let's say it's on the selection, and you try to move it. It moves the selection. It doesn't move the image, so it's kind of odd. So I wanted to show that to you. So the other thing that you can do that's weird is like, well, let's move okay, well, let's change by the way, these are the options of the tools I was talking about. You could say, hey, let's move the layer. Well, it moves the whole stinking layer. So that's let's go edit, undo the move. All right, so what if we want to move this thing now that we've selected it, what do we do? Well, we have to go like this. We have to go Edit, Cut, and then what we do is we go Edit, and we're going to go Paste as a new layer. So you're going to see it's going to pop up over here. I can turn this off. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. Okay, and so now if I go to that layer, if I'm going to click on that layer, I go to the Move tool. Now I can actually move it around. Okay, and although the odd thing is that my selection actually doesn't go with it, but that's kind of weird. Okay, so let's go select none. Okay, so the other thing too, let's go back and select this thing. So we're on this layer. We could name it if we wanted, but we could click on that and name it if we wanted, but I'm not gonna. All right, let's go back to our tool. So we're gonna go to our easy selection tool here. We'll select it. So one of the things too, so if I select something, now I can actually start to edit it. So I can go to colors, color balance, and I can change the way this thing looks. And it's going to change that selected area on that layer. All right, so anyways, you have to select pixels in order to modify them. Okay? All right, maybe I'll do one more. This isn't too long. I'll do one more tool here. Let's go back to our spiel here. All right, what is the rectangle and ellipse selection tools? How do they work? Wait, how does the free select tool work? Basically, you drag a scribble and it selects what you scribble. All right, how do the rectangle and ellipse tools work? Well, let me show you. Okay, we're going to go over here. We're going to go select none, get rid of that selection. We can actually just turn that off for now because it's not super beautiful. All right, so we're going to go back to this. It's probably familiar to you. And then we're going to go to we could go over here to our rectangle select tool, or we could go Tools, Selection Tools, Rectangle Select. Now, I'm going to put this to 0. This thing just wants, I see. So we can go to 0 or whatever we want. So we can drag it however we want. Okay, I'm going to put it at 0. So if I click and drag at 0, it does a rectangle selection. Now, if I start to change this, I can actually turn it into a rounded rectangle, which actually looks better. And then I can use these parts of the tool to adjust it and just get everything just right. Okay. And again, if I want to move it, my best option is to press Control and X to cut. And then I'm going to go Edit, Paste As. I'm going to paste it as a new layer. And then now, so there you have it. It's on a separate layer from everything else. Now I can move it to wherever I want it to go. So I'm going to move it there, okay? And I'm going to show you another tool real fast. So I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go Selection Tools. I'm going to say by color. And I'm going to just select, it's just basically obviously it selects by color. And so I selected the white, and I'm going to hit Delete and get rid of that, okay? All right, so there is that tool. Now let's take a look. Let's go back to this layer. We'll turn this layer back on, and we're going to go to our Tools, Selection Tools. We're going to go to the Ellipse tool. It works just the same way. So on the Ellipse tool, we can click and drag an ellipse to select something that's perfectly round. I'm going to go to my Zoom tool, if I can find it. There it is. And I'm going to zoom in so I can do a better job. I'm going to go back to my Ellipse tool, click and drag. I can adjust it here. Oh, you know what? One thing I should tell you is I was telling you guys about the tool options over here. So on the Ellipse tool, you can replace the current selection or add to it. And so because I'm replacing it, like if I click here, it deletes that selection and starts a new selection. So I'm going to click and drag until I get it perfect. And when I have it perfect, I hit Enter. So it turns that into a selection. And now I can go Edit, Cut. Oh no, that didn't work. I wonder what I did. Oh, I see what I did. Okay, so number one, I was on the wrong layer, so I have to go back to this layer. And then, I don't know what was number two. Oh, number two was I was adding to the selection. So if you want to like make a snowman, you can click and drag. So you can, actually let's go like this. So you go Select None, and if I click and drag, it makes a selection. If I click and drag again, it's going to add to that selection, right? So that's what I was doing. And so if I go Control X, it does that. So let's go Edit, Undo, Cut. So what I want to do is I want to change it to the Replace. And so I click and drag. I get the selection as close as I can. I start to modify it a little bit. Okay, so to where I get it perfect, and I'm going to go Control X, and then again Edit, Paste As, a new layer, and then I can move it around where I want it. And if I go to my Zoom tool and I press Control, it'll zoom out. And then I can use my Move tool to move this right over here where I want it. Okay, and you can't see it because it's underneath, so I can make it go, I can put that layer above. Okay? All right, that's it for this particular part. Go on to the next video to learn about more of the